Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I actually did a poll on Instagram, my Instagram stories, and also on Facebook on what celebrity gossip and celebrity talk I should discuss. So I ended up doing 4 different topics, 4 different celebrities, and I got back the polls and people really wanted to know about Jason, Momoa, and Lisa Monet, and of course Spears versus Spears. It's going to be very interesting. I can't wait to get into this. So let's just get right into it. This is All the Info with AKA. Okay everyone, this is going to be a long video, but I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible. Let's kind of get right into it. First up is Jason and Lisa, and I have my whiteboard down here. You know, when there's so much to discuss, I have to have it. They've been together for 16 years, married for almost 5, and they are divorcing. If you have not heard the news, spoiler alert, very sorry to let you know, but they are divorcing. People were very were really upset about it. I was like, oh, okay. I don't, I guess, kind of pay attention to that or focus on that. So I don't know anything about that. Not really, just know that he was married. Cool, awesome. They didn't know they were together for so long. And it's crazy because look at all these couples who are together for so long and then they split up. Hello, the perfect example is Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, right? Been together since what, 2002. They got married and were married for a year and they called it quits. They were together probably for like a good decade, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what went wrong, but I don't know what it is with these marriages. It's like once you put a ring on it, it's like it's official, this and this. Like, I don't know. It's like it scares people off. I don't know what it is. So that's kind of that. And it's just, it kind of sucks because it's like when you're together for so long and then it just doesn't work out after you get married and you're like, but you've been together for so long. Each to its own, don't know what happened. They were also not seen since March 2020. Could have been because of the pandemic, but they've been doing red carpets ever since. Have not been doing red carpets together. So I think the pandemic hit them. They were one of those pandemic couples that did not survive, you guys. I think honestly what had happened was they were one of those couples, you heard of the pandemic couples where people just kind of being together was like, it's too much, I can't do this. So I've heard of so many pandemic couples where they said, nah, I'm good, I'm straight. Being with you 24/7 is not my cup of tea. And so I think they probably were that pandemic couple because that was the last time they were seen together. Now for me, I did kind of sense something was up. I kind of knew something wasn't right, only because he posts on his Instagram. I follow him, I don't follow her, I'm sorry. And with that Instagram, I haven't seen his ring. There's been no ring on his finger. Every time he posts, I'm like, and I think I noticed it probably in November. And I was like, I haven't seen a ring. I haven't seen him post his wife. And he used to boost with her all the time. Like, this was my celebrity crush. This was my woman. Like, I married my celebrity crush. Like, how crazy is that? And boosted all the time. And I was like, I haven't seen him post her in a while. I haven't seen them together in a while. And I haven't seen him with his ring in a while. So I don't know what happened there. I'm not sure, but you know, things happens and it does suck, especially when you've been together for so long and then it's like you get married and it's like, yeah, we can't do this anymore. So I'm not sure what happened. It sucks. It's sad for people who really was into them and stuff like that. I'm so sorry. Apparently they filed and been separated since early 2021, since early last year. So whew, that shows, first of all, for me, it shows their maturity and responsibility to them and their 2 children, and to kind of let that relationship dwindle out in quietness and in their own universe and their own bubble before they came out with it to the public. And I think that's what you should do. There's people who they're was this filed? They're like, yeah, so we just filed and stuff like that. We are divorcing and stuff. And now everybody in your bubble and everybody outside that bubble has to go through it. And sometimes it's a lot. Sometimes you just want to be like, we filed, we've been separated for 2 years, been separated for a year, we are divorced and stuff. We've been divorced for the past 3 months, and bam, we're good, you know. I wonder why though. Why now? I don't know. Somebody is in a new relationship, because apparently they've been divorced since late last year, or like right in the beginning of this month of January. So I don't know. And I wonder if somebody's now in a relationship, and maybe that's why they felt we have to do this right now before there's cheating rumors, before there's allegations, and I don't know. So that is definitely something I do wonder. Supposedly he is kind of into Amber Heard. I don't know too much about her. I know she's in Aquaman too. She was in the first one as well. But I do know that she supposedly was also the reason why Johnny Depp and his first wife had divorced. He was, seeing her. He divorced the first wife. He got married with her. And well, we all know how that story ended. It ended with her apparently supposedly abusing him, and him taking her to court for abusing him. So I don't know if that's the case. Not my business. Okay, so that's it that I have for Jason. Again, it does suck. I think divorces is just, sometimes you just gotta be like, when you done tried everything and you did everything you could possibly do, you just gotta sit there and be like, thank you God that it's over. Catch you later and call it a day.
Thanks a lot.
So if they felt like they did everything they could do, then like Bam said on Medea, then you don't did everything you can do. So hopefully, if they reconcile, great. If they can't, hopefully they find love, elsewhere. But yes, Mr. Aquaman himself is now free in the world, you guys. So he don't want y'all, but y'all can sit there and now Google eye him all day long. The next celebrity gossip is Britney versus Jamie Lynn Spears. And this is something that just is never going away. If you guys do not know, Jamie Lynn Spears wrote a book about her life. And okay, first of all, if you guys did not know, if you've been under a rock for the past 4 or 5 years, Britney is now free. She is now engaged. She's able to see her 2 kids, and she is no longer under her 13-year conservatorship. She was under the conservatorship because of some stuff she was going through. She was acting out. There were some things happening, and they put her in a conservatorship, and they just never let her go. Please follow her Instagram. If you don't, she does these beautiful, beautiful reenactments of her life and how she just makes fun of so many things, like with her therapy sessions and just all the crazy things that happen in her life that she's able to kind of just laugh about right now. And I definitely applaud you for that. Jamie Lynn wrote a book about, it is called, let me see, Things I Should Have Said. So she actually talks about it on Good Morning America, and she talks about how this conservatorship she knew nothing about. She was not aware of it. She said when it started, she was 17 years old, and at 17, if people watched Zoe 101, she got pregnant. She says she was only worried and concerned about her health and her child's health that she, was carrying. And that was it. She said whatever else was going on with her sister and with the family, knew nothing about. That was not her business. And she didn't know nothing about the conservatorship, and she said she didn't even know nothing about it now. It's hard. I think something like that is very difficult, and really it's a lot. It's not something that you're just able to sit there and be like, yeah, it's something that is very, like, I don't think she should have wrote a book. I think she should just leave it be, let it be alone, stop gaslighting Britney, and just, you didn't know? Cool. The end. You ain't got to say nothing else. Let it go. She's putting fire to the fuel.
Wait a minute.
Sorry. She's is that how it goes? Putting fire to the fuel, or is it adding fuel to the fire? She's adding fuel to the fire. There we go. She's adding fuel to the fire by constantly continuing this notion of arguing with Britney because she feels that that's the only way to really get in contact with Britney. Because she's like, well, you know, you won't write me, you won't get back to me, you won't answer my calls, so guess what, I have to now write you on Instagram and on Twitter because that's the only way that it captures your attention. I feel like Jamie Lynn is just a bunch of crap. That's how I feel. Let's get down to all the stuff that's going on though. So Britney, she has been bashing her family, her sister, her mom, her father. Thank the good Lord she's out of that. I do know as well that she did say that her mom is actually the reason why she was in this conservatorship. She said that her mom is actually the one who insisted that she goes into one, and that's why the father put her in one. And she's been in one for 13 years, and she bashed her mother, who claimed also as well that she knew nothing about this. She didn't know anything about this. I find that highly unlikely, but okay. And Britney said no, she did, because she's the one who insisted that I go into one. I feel like that family used her. She, you know, was close to a good billionaire, if not a billionaire, and they used her. They used her money. They made her work for those 13 years and gain money for them and for their expense, so they can live in their fancy houses and do their own things. And no, not no more sweetie poos. Okay, we're not doing that anymore. This is it. Like, no, I'm happy she's calling out people who knew. I'm happy that people are now taking that responsibility or fighting back and getting turned down. I do know that with Justin Timberlake, he kind of had his own apology as well with Britney. He said some things. He was like, he did see some things and he should have stood up for her, and he didn't. And he said his own apology. So I think she kind of said, you know, she's good, she's great with it. She talked to him about it. It's you know, all is forgiven, not forgotten. Another one is, okay, so there's one where I never knew nothing about until recently, actually. So if you guys are Zoe 101 fans, do you guys remember Nicole, the one who was boy obsessed and was in the 2 seasons, and then in season 3 they got Victoria Justice, and they said Nicole went away to an all-girls boarding school because she was so obsessed with guys her parents couldn't do anymore. Like, they had to send her away. Apparently she really left. I think I was just too young. I didn't really understand it. I was just like, oh, okay, she left, whatever. She really left because she was getting bullied on set. So apparently she stated before that when she had left, she had talked about it, and she had stated that Britney Spears actually told her, if you don't do what my sister tells you to do, if you think you're gonna sit here and be big bad wolf, I will end you. Okay, do you know who I am? Do you know who my sister is? She's my sister, and I'm a big person, and what you're not gonna do is do what you think you're gonna do. So I need you to calm that down, because I will make sure you will never work here in this industry, in this town, ever again. And I was just like, ooh, Jesus. So that was rough. That was a bit rough one. And she said the cast bullied her. Could be because they were on Jamie's side, in the sense that, you know, Britney Spears, certain people you do not mess with, and that could be what it is. I don't know, but it was just, I think that one was like, wow, like an OMG moment. Again, Britney at the time did say that she was a loose cannon, so I could believe that she said that. Coming back now though, Alexa did state that she keep getting these comments and these, you know, people writing her this information about what Jamie said in her book about being on Zoe 101 and about Nicole and so many people. And I'm gonna post all the different screenshots of what she had said. And basically, to sum that up, she was saying that she feels like it was a bunch of bullshit. It was just lies. The fact that she has the audacity to even lie is ridiculous to her. But she said it doesn't surprise her. She said she always said that Jamie Lynn Spears was a bully, and that she just always bullied her, and she's even continuing it. She said she was actually a little surprised because they kind of squashed it. She said we grew up, we have kids, we're married, and we kind of was, you know, in that same segment of, we have a family, we're okay, we squashed that. But she said the fact that you will sit there and continue with your lies in the book after we squashed this is ridiculous. And I'm glad she spoke her truth, and she says she stands with Britney, and there's that. Sorry, Jamie. So apparently, Jamie Lynn Spears said that Britney chased her around with a knife.
And let me see what you have.
No! That is not true. Britney said that the fact that she would even say such a lie, a horrendous lie, is ridiculous. She said she has never, not one time in her life, chased her around with a knife. She said that is her little sister. She would never even hurt her. She said, so the fact that she is making these things up is like, she said she don't believe it's her doing it. It could be the father, it could be other people. But she said the fact that she would say that is just like, she realizes she's just far gone. But I do have to say, people, when she started trending a few days ago about that, it was tough. And people were like, Lynn, but let's show who really was going around with a knife. And we have a video right over here that I'm gonna post. There we go. That I'm gonna post of Jamie actually in a deli store. She picked up a knife from the deli's counter and charged at it with the person who's on the phone calling 911, and because it was an altercation with the guy and her friend. And I'm like, Jamie, sweetie, I think you're getting your story confused. It was you chasing around people with knives, not your sister. But all in all, Britney has a heart and a soul, and she actually did a beautiful love letter to her sister that I'm also going to post screenshots of. And she basically said, you know, she loves her and she wants to talk to her. She said she does feel that, you know, Jamie and her husband didn't go to see her when she got locked up for 4 months in this facility. She said she tried reaching out to her. They didn't answer. She said she did try, you know, calling her and texting her, and the only time she came was when she posted something on Instagram, and they came to the house. They were laughing and came to the house that one time. She said that's it. But she said if she wants to talk, she is open to talk. She said she still loves her sister. That's her little sister. And hopefully, you know, that's an olive branch. Jamie just needs to realize you need to let things go. You know, don't post things on Instagram talking about, I've been trying to contact you, been trying to call you. Stop getting on Instagram and just reach out to me. I think that was Britney's olive branch to say, I love you, I forgive you, you're my little sister. Like, I'm always going to be there for you, always protect you. But hopefully she does not forget and she just lets her and that family go. I'm hoping. But that's all for my celebrity gossip. I also just want to quickly mention on another note that Megan Fox and Machine Gun have got engaged, which quite frankly, if you follow their best friends apparently, Travis Baker and Kourtney Kardashian are engaged. They got engaged first. Travis and Machine are actually best friends, and yeah, so I don't think anybody was really shocked at that. Both of their proposals were really beautiful. Travis did red roses on the beach, and Machine, he did at a tree. It was actually, I think their first time meeting was on set, and it was under this tree and everything like that. And he actually that was their first date. He asked her to be his girl under the tree, and their rings are absolutely beautiful. And on another note, Jeannie Mai Jenkins is officially a mother. If you guys watch the Real Daytime talk show, you know since season 1 she always said she didn't want kids, and she even talks about it in her YouTube how for the first time in her life, this is the first man that ever made her feel safe enough to say, I will welcome into this world a child, because I know we can both protect the child. So I'm so happy for her. Congratulations, Jeannie. Congratulations, Jeezy. So happy. Can't wait for pictures and to see the child, to see if it's a boy or girl, and to even get the name. But that's all I have for today for Celebrity Gossip. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was a joy to watch, and let me know if you have any more questions, and let me know what other celebrity gossip you would like for me to discuss. Please leave comments down below, and I will see you for the next All the Info with AKA episode. Bye.